Why do you care so much about what other people think when your child is simply being a child? Think about it. How many times have you found yourself in a situation where your child is throwing a tantrum in a store or crying loudly in a restaurant and you feel that rush of embarrassment? What did you do next? Did you react to stop the embarrassment, or did you respond to help your child? I'm Sanj, and welcome to Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. This is a podcast that helps you navigate life's challenges by helping you to master your mindset so you can master your life. If you get something from this episode, please share it with someone who you think would benefit from hearing it. I'd also really appreciate it if you could leave me a rating or a review. So today's episode is a little bit different because we're going to be talking about something that we've all experienced: embarrassment, and specifically when we feel embarrassed as parents. So here's a quote by Dr. Seuss: "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind." And as parents, we sometimes get caught up in how we look that we forget to focus on what's really important, and that's our child's needs. And I know that at first, as a parent, before I became more aware of everything, I used to find it too. When my child was crying in a restaurant, I'd be like, oh no, what are the other people going to think of? What are the other people thinking? Are they going to think I'm a bad parent? Are they going to be annoyed that my child's crying? So today we're going to be talking about why your embarrassment shouldn't take a priority over your child's well-being. And I'll discuss why we feel so embarrassed in the first place and how it impacts our behavior. And most importantly, how you can shift your mindset to show more empathy and patience. So let's dive in. We've all been there, and let's talk about that sinking feeling of embarrassment that when your child throws a fit in the middle of the store, you didn't buy them a toy, or they want something they want a bit of fruit or something, and you're there trying to keep your cool, but deep down all you can think of is, what is everyone around me thinking? And this is actually something I've noticed more and more recently, is that since becoming so self-aware myself, I'm also noticing other people and how they're responding. Like, you will see some parents just calmly just letting their child have their tantrum and just let them get over it themselves. But then I'll find other parents who are saying, "Stop embarrassing me," or "Keep the noise down." And everyone reacts in their own way. But the reason you're reacting in certain ways is, first of all, social pressure and judgment. Because one of the biggest reasons you're feeling embarrassed is because you assume that other people are judging you. Society just places this invisible pressure on parents to have well-behaved children, and they're expecting it at all times. But here's the thing: kids are unpredictable, they're emotional, and they're still learning how to deal with their feelings. Even as an adult, you get adults who just lash out, who just can't deal with their emotions. Kids are not mini adults. They haven't developed those emotional tools that you're expecting them to have. Something like 80% of parents admit to feel judged by others in public when their children misbehave. And nearly 50% feel that they're being judged often or always. So can you imagine having that weighing on your shoulders? The next thing is your ego and your personal image, because your ego gets involved because you don't want to be seen as a bad parent. So when your kid acts up, you take it as a personal reflection of your parenting. But this is where you need to pause and ask yourself, are you reacting because you're embarrassed, or is it because you want to help your child? When your embarrassment actually takes priority, you often respond by doing things like scolding, by shushing, or even dragging your kid out of the situation. But here's the thing: the reaction isn't about helping the child in that case. It's about saving face. And that leads to the next point. You need to shift your mindset to care more about your children's needs rather than others' opinions. And I've I sometimes still make this mistake. I'm not perfect. I do sometimes feel a little bit embarrassed. I've managed to control it most of the time, and I do try and actually prioritize my kids in the moment rather than what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. So let's take a step back and think about it logically. Why are you prioritizing the opinions of strangers over the need of your child? People will forget you after 5 minutes, but your children won't. Those strangers in the store or at the restaurant, when you're gone, you're going to be out of sight, out of mind. They're going to forget about your child's outburst in the next 10 seconds, 15 seconds. But your child, they won't forget how you responded to their emotional needs. When your child is upset, what they need most is empathy and understanding, not a hurried reaction driven by your embarrassment. They want to know that you're there. They want to know that you're understanding them, that you're going through it with them maybe. They want you to actually relax them, calm them down, just make them feel safe. You need to start understanding your child's world, because children live in a world that's overwhelming at times. Adults live in a world that's overwhelming at times. How often do you feel like you just haven't got everything figured out, that there's a massive weight on your shoulders? And they haven't even been on earth as long as you. So they're still figuring out their emotions. They're figuring out their surroundings. They're learning how to express themselves. So when you actually shift your focus from what will people think to what does my child need right now, you will start becoming the parent your child needs you to be. But did you know that kids' brains are actually wired for emotional expression? The part of their brain responsible for regulating emotion doesn't fully develop until their mid-20s. So when your child is upset, it's not because they're acting out, it's because they genuinely need your help in processing those feelings. So instead of reacting based on embarrassment, you need to respond with love. Remember, the way you respond teaches your kids how to handle their emotions in the future. So if you just keep shouting at them, berating them, belittling them, they're going to start to hide those feelings. But when you show them that actually it's safe for them to express, that's when they'll actually be able to show you who they really are. So not only that, when you actually start showing empathy to them and showing understanding, it will strengthen your connection with your kids. I mean, let's talk about empathy. Empathy is one of the most powerful tools you can use as a parent. Not only as a parent, actually, as a friend, as a partner. When you show empathy to anyone, and when you show empathy to your child, especially in those tough, embarrassing moments, you're actually creating a strong emotional bond that will last a lifetime. Your child is looking to feel understood. So when they're upset, they're not trying to make your life difficult. They're trying to communicate something, whether they're tired, hungry, frustrated, or just overwhelmed. They need to feel that you're understanding them. They need to feel that you're there. So when you respond with empathy rather than anger or irritation, you're showing them, I see you, I hear you, I'm here for you. So children who feel understood by their parents are actually more likely to develop more emotional intelligence and resilience. And they're also more likely to trust you and come to you when they need help. And as a parent, that's what you want at the end of the day. You want your kids to be able to come to you at any point and so you can be there for them. And empathy actually reduces stress for both of you. It doesn't just help your child, it helps you as well. Because when you approach your child's emotional outburst with empathy, you're less likely to feel stressed. You're less likely to feel frustrated because you're actually responding from a place of calm, from a place of understanding, rather than reacting from a place of panic or embarrassment. So it's actually a win-win for both you and your child. So next time you're feeling that rush of embarrassment when your child is acting up in public, remember that showing empathy strengthens your bond and it helps your child to learn how to process their emotions in a healthy way, while at the same time helping you to actually lower your stress, because you're not responding from a place of panic or embarrassment. You're responding from a place of calm. So, as always, I'm going to give you 3 ways or a few tips to actually help you focus on your child's needs rather than your own embarrassment in that moment. Because, as I said, I've been there. I see loads of parents in that situation. And if this will help you, and I really hope it does, please let me know which tip is the best one that you think will either help you the most or has helped you the most. So now you know that why empathy is so important. Let's talk about how you can shift your thinking in those tricky moments when your embarrassment starts to take over. First thing is pause and breathe. When you actually take a step back, when you actually pause before you react and take a deep breath, that's a massive game changer, because that moment of pause gives you time to check your emotions and remember that your child isn't misbehaving, that they're trying to express something. And of course, as always, breathing also helps lower your stress response, and it allows you to respond with calmness rather than frustration. And if you noticed, I used 2 different words, react and respond. When you react, that's in the moment. That's just your brain taking over without you having a chance to think. But when you respond, you've had that moment to think, you've had that clarity. The second thing is ask, what does your child need right now? In the moment, it's easy to get caught up in your own embarrassment, but shift your focus and ask yourself, what is my child asking of me right now? This will help you refocus your mind on their needs instead of worrying about what the couple on the table next to you may think of you. The third thing is visualize the future you want with your child. So when you're feeling overwhelmed by embarrassment, try visualizing the long-term relationship that you want with your child. Do you want them to remember you as a parent who cared more about how they felt, or as someone who cared more about what others thought? This mental shift can actually help you prioritize a connection with your kids over the opinions of strangers. Remember, what someone thinks of you is none of your business. So try these strategies out. Let me know which one works for you, which one has helped you so far, or which one you're going to try. And by using these strategies, you'll be able to stay present and calm and give your child the support they need in those difficult situations. So remember, your child's needs come first, not your embarrassment. So the next time you feel yourself feeling that rush of social pressure when your child's upset, take a moment to pause, to breathe, and ask yourself, what does your child really need? Remember, the people around you, they'll forget as soon as a moment is over, but your child, they'll carry the lessons from how you responded for years. So in moments of challenge, are you more focused on your child's needs or how others perceive you? You have the power to shift your mindset and prioritize what truly matters, the connection and the understanding that you build with your child. So thanks for tuning in today, and keep showing empathy, keep growing, and remember, you hold the key to creating the life you want, one moment at a time. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a review. It really helps the podcast grow. I'm not paying for ads or have any big backing, so it would really mean a lot to me if you could. You can also follow me on social media on Instagram at just.live.coaching for more mindset tips and tricks. Take care of yourself, and remember, you have the power to master your mindset, and when you do, you'll master your life. See you next time. Thank you for listening.